pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty and everlasting God, who presides over all things in heaven and earth, come and preside over these deliberations, so that those that make the decisions may be guided by your wisdom.
Thank you. My understanding is we have such a short agenda that is not an agenda.
The item that we did have on the agenda regarding the stop sign is being pulled. And
Yep.
Mrs. McClay
So-
wants to address it.
There's actually two reasons that we're pulling it. So I pulled the traffic meeting minutes from September, which at that meeting, they did advise the resident who was here that they were going to do a speed study, paint some lines, and then see if that was, if they could catch people, and I don't believe that that was done. So I'm not comfortable just going straight for a stop sign until all resources have been exhausted. And also, as we stated back at that meeting, federally, we are not allowed to put stop signs for speeding. So in the past, I believe we've sent it back to the traffic committee to do a feasibility study. So I think we should probably get back to that if we find out that, a stop sign is still being asked for. So a few options.
So it's a federal law. Do we know the rationale behind this federal law? Why? Because if you ask the average person around Wilkes-Barre, they're going to say they want people to slow down and think that would be the method to do it, that or speed.
Federal law, it's federal law that you can't use them for speeding.
Yeah, but why?
I guess maybe because
Yeah.
then every street would have a stop sign at every corner, probably.
We'd slow down traffic. Oh.
Yeah, so.
Really? Yeah.
So based off of what the traffic committee said that they were going to do, I will check with the police to see if that's been done. If not, I'll see if they can do it now that it's gotten warmer out again.
So since the articles about traffic from last week, I don't know how the rest of you have been feeling. I got a lot of response from it, and I guess I've also have now been more aware. Every single time I go out and drive, including right now coming here, I saw just horrific driving. So when I came here, as I'm stopped at Pennsylvania Avenue, a guy just was flying so fast on Market Street that he nearly went airborne over the tracks by the Times leader. Twice last week, as I'm coming on Franklin Street, going north, somebody's coming the other way, in the middle of the street. This afternoon, I took my dog for a walk, and I just went around the block. I would say 2/3 of everyone I saw was talking on their phone, or they're talking to themselves, which means they have a Bluetooth on. I saw one guy, phone on this hand, cigarette in the other hand, smoking. How are you driving? I saw another guy, same thing, phone on one hand, and his other hand he was probably having an argument with the person on the phone because he's going like this. But he's not have his hands on the wheel. It's just utterly frustrating, and I understand, I guess, for police officers to catch someone driving, because it's a state law now, you obviously have to catch them right in the act of it. It just seems to me that the sheer amount of speeding, the not paying attention to one-way streets, the using a stop sign as a suggestion, not a full stop, is absolutely constant. And I'm sure you guys are looking at, Charlie, different kind of remedies. The one that I can see, and I know we'll do this when the weather gets better, is obviously painting lines on the streets.
Right.
I can
Yes, I
see
agree.
there's lots of places where if you're a brand new driver, a kid who just got his license, or you're somebody who has moved here from out of town, you won't know. And we kind of intuitively know that there are room for 3 cars, at a stop sign, because one's going straight and one's going left and right. But yeah, obviously that's one of the solutions for that. And I guess the other solution is just, I don't know how we do an education campaign. I just don't understand the sheer irresponsibility of people and their driving habits these days. I know it makes me sound like a broken record, and I feel like I'm an old man now. And it's really been bothering me a lot. So I don't know how the rest of you feel.
Yeah.
If you had any more.
I think driving and parking.
Yeah.
Parking is a big complaint too. People parking on corners, people parking in their grass, people is parking, double parking.
I've seen a lot, the
Yep.
double parking
I get
and
a lot where they're at night.
Right.
They just double park, shut it off and go in the house.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like,
Like,
what?
what the hell?
Right, what are you doing? I have seen that too, and some people may or may not put their flashers on, and then
That
yeah,
means they're coming back out. I'm talking people going
yeah,
back.
you go to bed. All right, well, so we seem to definitely have a speeding problem and not paying attention to sign. On the way over, Charlie, I did get a text, the traffic light at Hazel Street. Now, this is, you're on Pennsylvania Boulevard coming up from South Wilkes-Barre. As you come to Hazel Street, the green light, one of the green lights is not working. I got a text message from it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Council presentations? Councilman Belisco?
Charlie, the two I mentioned, but I'm gonna email you tomorrow. Street paving. Do we have a list and we're gonna do?
Not yet. I think what, the last several years, if each council person would send us 2 possibilities,
Okay.
okay? And then we'll go through it. We have some.
When kind of would we start that?
Now would be the time. There was a preliminary thing that we're looking at with some bad streets. So a lot of times when you have the potholes, those streets sort of jump out at you because they're consistently beaten up.
Right,
So-
I understand that.
So we're looking at those. So now would be a good time, next couple of weeks.
To submit our streets?
2 each council person, please.
2?
2, we can do a lot more than
you
I got a lot
talking
more
to
than
me?
2, yeah.
2, thank you.
I could get 18.
We don't have an awful lot of money, that's, there's OCD and we have some liquid fuels money, but then, road repair money is,
Yeah.
there's just not a lot around. And we try to coordinate with the utilities, because they've chewed up a bunch of the roads and they're supposed to repave them, so we don't want to.
Yeah, North Main
Right.
will not be on my list.
Right, so it takes a little bit, but we'll work on it.
Okay, thanks, Charlie.
Yeah.
That's all.
Councilman Barrett?
I just handed out a copy, it's a poor copy, I apologize for that, but of a letter that a resident in Wilkes-Barre received, and it references city council and that we need to come up with a quality of life program, which we already have, and having the police work with it to address quality of life issues. And they want the resident, the recipient, to sign this, and they would put their name on a petition that would be forwarded to us, for us to work on quality of life issues. However, with that, they also strongly ask for donations to further their cause. It's obviously some sort of in my opinion, some sort of a fishing expedition here to see if they send out 100 letters and one person responds with a donation, they're ahead of it there. But I just don't know if we can do anything about it other than awareness, but we already have a quality of life program that's very successful, and we use that quite a bit. And I just feel that this is an attempt to get our residents to send money to Stafford, Texas, of all places. And they're going to send a petition and force us to enact a quality of life program that we already have. So I just want you to be aware of it, and maybe some of your residents may be coming to you about it and ask if this is for real, because it does specifically mention on the top Wilkes-Barre City Council, and it kind of looks like, we know about it, we're involved in it. So just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention. I just think it's wrong that somebody can do that and take advantage of people, and people may think that we are somehow involved in that. We're going to use the money for the quality of life program, which certainly is not the case. And the other thing you mentioned, line painting, and Jessica's aware of it, Washington and George Avenue, that intersection, specifically on George Avenue. There's 2 lanes there, and the lines are just totally gone. So when we do line painting, if we could take a look at that, there's arrows and lines there and stop lines and everything else. They're all pretty much worn away. That would be great if we could do that. And that's all that I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Marin?
Yes, also the line painting by GAR and Heights. There's a lot more than 2 there. None were repainted when they did the when they did the street paving years ago. So like just about every one is non-existent. And I think they're pretty important just because it's in a school zone.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's over in Nesbitt Park, the dock area there. Those lines were supposed to be painted last year, and they were never done. They're kind of, you can't really even see them anymore. The boat launch area.
Parking?
Yeah. And that's it for line painting.
Councilwoman McClay?
Got to put my glasses on. Just a couple of things. So the Sabre Room, the parking lot is a mess again. It's just all over. I have no idea what they're doing there, but they come, they leave the garbage, and then they don't come back for a few weeks. Then there is a chair on North Washington Street in Miners Mills, close to the new beer place. I think it's called Wilkes-Barre Beer or
Wilkes-Barre.
something.
Yeah,
Wilkes-Barre.
Wilkes-Barre.
Wilkes.
Yeah, the old Philly subs there.
Yeah,
Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
That's kind of
that's
funny,
what,
actually.
yeah. Then there's a couch
wrong.
on North Main and Butler,
Wilkes-Barre.
right by the rock wall. The mirror on Penn Ave and Chester, either the wind broke it or a truck hit it, so that's broken.
I'm sorry, with Chester and what?
North Pennsylvania,
North Peak.
yep. That's all my problems. The next are questions. So we use those meter sticks at handicap spots as well as like no parking zones, like loading, unloading zones, right?
Various, yeah.
So would that be an option for us to maybe start putting them into the residential areas on the corners for like no parking?
Yeah, we
Because that
could.
seems to be,
We could, if get a list of it, again, if the council has a place that, you know, it's consistently a problem.
Yeah.
That's,
Good idea.
because they're expensive, so, you know.
right,
And then they have to be analyzed by the company. We don't pay for the installation of it, but, you know, they're careful how many that go.
okay.
So if any of the council people want to, if you have one or two areas that you think that would be good, that people consistently abuse it, let us know, sure. And then
Perfect.
Rob will cite it out
Okay.
and see what we can do.
Yeah, because as we all talk about parking, I just thought about, you know, that they'd probably be perfect for that spot where, because it usually occurs after 6 o'clock, people park there.
Yeah, you'll know, we all know certain places. That's why
Yeah.
they're so effective.
Yeah.
We know where they are.
They do
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
We make a lot of money, the city, that's a really good.
Could I get a dozen?
I'll help put them in. I'll help put them in.
Yeah.
So we
I'll
can
help
even
too.
use
I'll get
these
dirty.
when there's only one side parking, so if they're parking on the other side of the street where they're not supposed to, we can put them on that side of the street
Yeah,
as
we
well.
can, but that,
We just don't
a
want
lot
to
of
go crazy.
times, it becomes a question of efficiency, you know? We did it down by Kistler, if you know, down on that
Yeah.
extension of Hanover, but that was because the people were parking there every day. There was a
Okay.
consistent problem. So if there's one side of the street that's just consistently a problem, okay, but if people, you know, do it sporadically, it's probably not worth the amount, you know, the amount of time and energy.
So we could each give you 2 spots?
Do we get 2 of those or 2?
2 streets and 2 sticks.
More of those.
Perfect, so that, yeah, I thought about that, and I thought that might help. And then my last thing is the bank building. Has that sold? Do we know if it's selling?
That is to close either Friday or Monday.
Ah,
Perfect.
good.
I'm good.
That's good, thank you. I could think of 2 street painting. We actually just came up Butler Street to turn onto Washington. There's nothing
Nope.
there.
There's a lot that are faded.
And another one is when you come down Hazel to the Wilkes-Barre Boulevard, where the Turkey Hill is on the right, there's nothing there to indicate as well.
Yeah, again, council has places, let us know. We have a contract, it's a question of money, obviously. We have a contract, and we'll try to get the larger areas, you know, off of the boulevards and things like that. But if you have an area, let us know.
Good. Well, thank you, everyone, for coming to the traffic committee. Oh, I mean, city council meeting. And any good for the order? Anyone else? Okay, we'll see you on Thursday.
Take my postie.
Take your little Post-it, go home. Up to the wind tunnel.
Oh, somebody hit the pot.
It's always windy out there, yeah.
Jess, I think there's one of those sticks when I was coming down,
I don't know who it was.
either
There's a
Wyoming.
couple by your house.
Yeah, there's right in front of...